Hello everyone, welcome back to Mr. Joshua's classroom. Today we're going to have some fun with pictures and kind of making a frame for them. So it's going to be like a collage, and we have colored paper that I got not long ago, all different kinds. You could find any kind of paper for your background, so whatever you have will work, and whatever pictures you got. You'll need some scissors, and you'll need some glue later, and maybe some markers if you want. First I'm going to look at shapes and see how I want to cut them out. Okay, so I'm gonna trace around the body to give it an outline, and if I leave some of the color there, it's okay. It's up to you. So you can trace around them, you can just cut around them. You'll see how mine looks, and you can make the decision as you go, or you can just allow your creativity to go free. So maybe you want to do something even different than what I'm showing you. If you're inspired, then go for it. If not, then follow my steps. So I'm gonna cut off the big chunks and get the main picture out of what I'm about to cut. And then I'm gonna cut around all the edges and get just the image that I'm looking for. Okay, now that that is cut out, I'm going to take my metallic pens. They're like crayon or markers, but they're shiny, and this one's gold. So I'm going to trace around my sister, and I'm going to make sure I get all the edges, make sure it's nice and clear. If you're using anything like a marker or something, be careful if it smudges. If you're going to go off the edge of your paper, make sure you put it on scrap paper so you don't get on the desk. And that one is now ready to be cut out. So I need to make sure it's, oh, see exactly, it was too wet. So I'm going to put that over there, and I'm going to start with the next one, let that dry. So yeah, I'm going to trace around here. Is one of my brothers, and yeah, I had these pictures up on my whiteboard with magnets, and I loved having them up there, but I just decided why not make them all a little bit more expressive and kind of put them all into the same frame, so you will see at the end what I'm talking about. Right now, let's just work together and make it happen. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the first one because it's dry by now, and we will cut it out. So boys and girls, you see how I leave some of the yellow of the background? I like that color, so I left some. If you want to put more than one outline, that would look cool. If you maybe even made zigzag lines, you could do all different kinds of stuff. For right now, for this video, it's only going to be outlines with different colors. If you come up with something cool on your own, I would love to see it. And even if you don't, I still love to see it. So, yep, just keep cutting and getting your pictures ready. Okay, boys and girls, so no matter how many photos you use for this project, you're just going to keep repeating the process. So find the image, make sure it's printed, put some lines around it, and then cut it out. So if you see this one, I'm putting two outlines around it. So I have silver and blue, or silver and purple, and like I said, you can kind of make more than one. You could keep making a couple, so you can make 3 or 4. For this one, I'm going to do silver and purple. And I kind of see like silver in the glasses, and then my dad's hair and like around my hat in the background, and then he's wearing a purple shirt. So I actually picked those colors to kind of go with the picture itself. So if you think that much into it, go ahead. I'm sure it'll look awesome either way, but if you can kind of match what's already there, it would be cool. And something cool about this one is I folded it and I cut it at the same time, and now look, it has a sort of a silhouette behind it. So I'm gonna play with that and see what would look like if I actually kept that and glued it together. I like that right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it kind of like a shadow behind it. So I'm gonna use my black marker, some scrap paper so I don't draw on my desk, and I'm gonna put a whole bunch of lines going in the same direction all the way around the edge. Okay? So put a whole bunch of lines going in the same direction all the way around the edge. Okay, and then when I put this on top, it'll give it a cool effect. So it's kind of like a shadow box or a shadow effect. Okay, so that just happened kind of without me really thinking about it, but then I realized it and was like, heck yeah. So sometimes that'll happen. And now we're about to move to the final drawing. So my lovely grandma is going to be outlined in gold. Of course, I want her to be shining. And make sure I get her hair. And I love this picture of her because she's so happy and smiling. And I love thinking about her that way. So I will continue to outline this and get it ready for the final process. So continue watching, enjoy the music, and I'll see you in a second. Alright, boys and girls, so we are going to finish up our cutting, and at this point we are about ready for the next stage. So we are going to get all of our images together, and we're going to decide what our background is going to be. So again, you can use any kind of background. Sometimes you could use paper, you could use colored paper. You could color your background and make your own background. I bought these from my students before we were staying at home, and now I'm gonna use some of them. So these, I don't know if I would like this other one better. So let's try and look at this. Yes, this is what I like much better. So yeah. You pick what kind of paper you want to use, and once you've found it, then you're ready to start. So if you need to, you could always pause it, go find something different if you got an idea, or if you already have it, even better. The final stages are laying out our pictures. So I want you to move them around a couple times and see which way they fit the best, okay? I kind of have an idea in my head, but you never know when you start to lay out, it might change. So I like this. Maybe a few little things here and there, and make sure my silhouette's good. Okay, so once you've found your layout, you are ready to use some glue. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. So now I'm gonna need my glue, and we're gonna glue them in place. You want to make sure you find something for a background when you're gluing, so you don't glue on other things, and you can go all the way to the edge so the edges don't pop up from not having glue. If it's an actual photograph, you want to be careful for getting glue on the front because it'll leave residue, like it'll leave like a shiny spot or like a smudge. If it's just paper, it won't show up as much as long as your glue dries clear. But you can see how I use something for the background, so I could just rub right off the edges and make sure all the edges are nice and sticky. Okay, I'm gonna put that one there. And you can see I don't use a lot of glue. You don't need a whole lot. You can just use enough where you can see it, and then it's ready to go. Okay, so let's get grandma on there. See right there, I put the glue on the sticker on the face, and that was not a smart idea. I can't see it, so that's good. Yeah, when I printed this, I printed doubles. Actually, I printed a lot, so I can give some away. And now they are changing into another art project once more. Go. So we have all of them in their place, glued down, and yes, I love it. Okay, make sure there's nothing on there, and we're good. Alright, for the last thing I did was I put them in the book and closed it and let them dry, and be careful if you do this, you might need to put saran wrap or plastic if it's too much glue. But now I'm going to pull it out and take a look at what completion looks like. Yes, look how awesome it is. Thank you for joining, and make sure to give me some thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe for updates and new videos. See you next time in Mr. Joshua's classroom.